And our final guest here on the Blue Couches today, Thasia Ann, is joining us to talk about WOW, Women of Word with a few man-made words, yes, which is happening a little bit later in March. Welcome, Thasia. It's nice to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this
so
is wonderful.
what is this event about?
It starts with me doing poetry and feeling that there were so many women's issues that were not being talked about. So the very first one was just Women of Word. And then I realized there were so many people in the community, men, that were doing great poetry on the same tough subjects, so I included them. We use poetry, music, dance, and humor to talk about the really tough subjects of our society, such as homelessness, addiction, domestic violence, PTSD. And we throw humor in here and there so that nobody gets too heavy. And I invite all the different agencies that deal with those populations. And so afterwards at our little reception, they're walking around maybe carrying a bag that says Safe Net. So somebody who's in the audience who came to realize that maybe they needed to talk to somebody feels like going up to that friendly face is a lot easier than like taking a business card and making a cold call.
Right,
Yeah.
so, right, love that.
And now, is this isn't like an open mic type thing?
No.
This is a
right.
detailed performance with kind of open reception afterwards.
So I'll pick subjects, and I have a crew that I've worked with for a long time, and then I bring in a few different poets each year.
Okay.
But I have a crew that understands. So I'll set, I think these are the subjects that are hot in the headlines right now. Who's got poems on what? Then I take their poems, maybe 4 of them, and I create a conversation out of them. So we're not really talking to each other. I'll read a poem and then you read a poem back, but it actually makes a conversation for the community.
Yeah.
And what is it about poetry that really speaks to people in that way?
I think it's a get out of jail free card, a free pass to your emotions, where you wouldn't necessarily say something about being homeless. You write a poem about it, and you read it, and people are like, oh, that's about being homeless. It's the same with domestic violence. A woman or a man might not be willing to talk about what's going on at home, but they write it and then maybe go to an actual open mic and start letting it out. I also teach poetry workshops, and I liken it to every week you take your garbage out of your house so it doesn't stink. Taking the trash out and putting it on a piece of paper.
See.
You can throw it away or you can put it in a box under your bed, but you've gotten that out of you.
Yeah, or share it. Share
Yes,
it for
share it,
conversation
yes.
and discussion. So this is happening at Basement Transmissions.
Yes.
Explain to everybody where that is if they've not been there. It's a great little event space.
Yes, in the past it's been a church and it was Roadhouse Theater. If you know where McDonald's is on 12th and Sass, McDonald's parking lot goes down to 11th and Sass, and Basement Transmission is right beside
It's right in there, yeah.
And then the school across the street has allowed us to use that for parking. So
Oh, that's nice.
Now, is this a ticketed event? Do
No.
folks just
free to the
free and
community,
open?
free
Great.
to everybody. I don't want anyone to have to pay to find the connections to the agencies they need, and that's my big hope.
Yeah, so it's March 10th, and you just show up and enjoy.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Perfect. Thanks,
Thasia.
Thasia. Nice to have you.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.